It's over. It's over. The bromance is over. It's over. It's over. The bromance is over. Hey, it's over. Hey, it's over. Hey, the bromance is over. Hey. Wow. It's here, folks. The day we've all been waiting for. The feud between Elon Musk and Donald Trump is in full force. This is a Lichtman Live post show, the greatest post show that's ever existed on the face of planet Earth. Hello, Philip. Hello, Abe, M. Pinchy, Suzanne AP, JoJo Star, Patrick Murray. I just realized I forgot to put the post show up. So I was just scrambling to get the post show up. So I apologize if you're just finding it. Amber Owens, Tashjeed Khan, Michael Nightwolf. Thank you for finding me, Bettina. You're a real one. Damn, I really screwed that one up because that was such a big audience. Can we do a Musk or Trump poll? What is the poll exactly? Like, who do you like better? What's the poll? Thank you, Suzanne, for waiting. Hello, Tigro. Can you go back and post on your dad's page? I believe Savannah is doing that. JoJo Star says, this feud is dangerous. I saw a post that the result could lead to J.D. Vance put into power. I wouldn't count on J.D. Vance being put into power. Sam, take a poll. Who will win the cat fight? Trump or Musk? T-Girl says they're both awful. I agree with you, T-Girl. They both can shove it, in my opinion. But listen, I'm going to sip some tea and enjoy them fighting. I'm going to be honest with you. If you do a Trump Musk poll, be sure to include none of the above. All right, but I don't know what the poll should be. Who's going to win the feud? Who will come on top? Who? Because that's a different question too. Like, okay, who will win the feud? Musk, Trump. There we go. It's up. I don't support either in this feud. Let me be honest. I hope it causes them both to lose money, lose power, and lose influence, because I don't want money or influence or power in either one of their hands. Period. Vonda says they both need to go. Horrible people. That's how I feel. Honestly, maybe I shouldn't say this. Who would I like to lose more power? Trump. Because at least Elon is the head of two businesses that help advance society. Trump doesn't help advance anything. Lily says, I'm not sure what winning looks like. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Hello, Dennis. Question, Sammy, do you think this is all a ruse and Elon is causing a fuss to make it appear like he's now turning sour towards Trump to help his Tesla sales? That's certainly possible, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's certainly possible. Will this radicalize more people? What do you mean by that exactly? Philip H. says, Trump helps advance fascism, right? So what's the new Dem message for 28? The new Dem message for 28 is forward. Russia is attacking Ukraine right now with ballistic missiles. Is that true? Aru says, Musk's Tesla stock fell like 15%. Right, that's true. Since he started this war with Trump, I think Tesla stock has gone down. So it's not helping his Tesla stock. Maybe it's a longer run play, but I don't know. Master says, Sam, I shared your viewpoint in the beginning. However, the fact that Elon accused Trump of being on the Epstein file seems too much of a personal jab to be fake, at least to me. That's a fair point. But Tina says they're both massive fakers, but also both super emotional and capable of legit freaking out over stuff. That's true. Archie says, forward for a brighter future. That's too long. T-Girl says, I'm opting out of this poll. It's kind of dumb in my opinion. I agree. It's kind of dumb too. But I didn't know how to phrase it. Hello, Lori Robinson. Take a poll if this is a stunt for a distraction. I don't know what that means either exactly. That could mean a million different things. Philip says Musk will come out on top, everything to gain. His goal is to get his consumer base back, and it will work partially. I agree that Trump has more to lose. I do agree with that. Trump has more to lose and less to gain in this scenario. Obama used Ford in 2012, did he? Not your phrasing, just the whole thing is stupid. Oh, the whole thing is stupid. I mean, again, let's not forget, Elon is either the most ignorant man on planet Earth or he's the most corrupt man on planet Earth. There's no in between. Either he was using Trump for his own personal political gain and influence and money and power, or he was so ignorant that he couldn't see that his goals were not actually aligned with Trump's goals. Again, in what world did Musk think that Trump would be some sort of EV guy? I mean, he's railed against EVs forever. I can't stand either of them either. Abe says, it's funny and all that, but it's also kind of embarrassing for us on the world stage. That's true. We have so many issues and we're focusing on Trump/Musk and their drama. We're a laughingstock. That's a fair point. But I also will say this is like, I am always one to be like, why are we talking about this? This is so stupid. I feel like this is, at least for a day, we can talk about this. This is kind of, this is kind of monumental. The president and the richest man in the world feuding. That could have some real ramifications. Freddie says, the Dems' messaging problem is that they don't play dirty and always try to be perceived as the nice guy. That's a good point. Americans, especially men, think nice guys are suckers and losers. That's a fair point. I don't think nice guys are suckers and losers, but I agree that they play softball too often.
Come on, want to sit down with Grumpy?
Go ahead, Keith. Tashdeed says, I read somewhere that Trump was so dumb that he could take advantage of a con man, but Trump is the ultimate abuser, and Trump just abused Elon like he did everyone else. But did Trump even abuse Elon? They kind of didn't use each other. Like, they kind of didn't really use each other. Okay, let's say they're both like, Trump's like, I want to use Elon as effectively to my own gain as possible. And Elon is like, I want to use Trump as effectively to my own gain as possible. Neither of them really achieved that goal. Doge didn't save anybody any money. It didn't really, cut government spending a whole lot. Elon certainly didn't get anything out of it. I mean, maybe he got some government files. He shrank the IRS a little bit. He weakened the FAA. I mean, but I don't know if any of that's going to have like a real impact on his bottom line or his power. Maybe I'm wrong, but VKM says, slogan idea I had for 2028 Dems: recover, revive, reform. It's too passive. It's too passive. Kara Swisher predicted this would happen. Everybody predicted this was going to happen. Again, I just saw like a montage of 10 different people predicting this was going to happen. You just can't have two men that are so, that have such big egos and are also so fragile at the same time really work together. Just sent a video for you to react to. You're right in the first place, Sam. Let's just sip some tea and enjoy this, if only for a day. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like F you to both of them. I'm just glad you guys are bickering like little babies. What is this? Oh, RFK Jr. video. Dr. Mike. In my opinion, says VKM, Vance becoming POTUS would be horrific. He's friends with Peter Thiel, which involved a Planeteer, and Planeteer is compiling a database of info on everyone in the U.S. for Trump. I don't think I've ever said that J.D. Vance is a better option. What if we use Kerry's 04, a stronger America? I don't love it. Master says, also, the kid X, Elon's son, didn't punch Elon. I feel like he fell on his face since he hardly is ever sober. Yeah, I don't think that was his son punching him in the eye. Let's be honest. You know one thing I noticed about Trump that was interesting? So when Elon was standing there with a black eye, he said, he looked at the, he says, I didn't even notice. He kept saying, like, oh, I didn't even notice he had a black eye. And then today he said, in his Oval Office meeting with the German MERS, is it MERS or Mertz? He said, oh, I offered him makeup and he said no. So which is true? Did you not notice his black eye, or did you offer him makeup and he said no? Trump is just so used to lying that like everything he says comes out as a lie. Sam, you have personally talked about the Musk and Trump eventual breakup? I'm sure I have. I don't remember what I said. My Gmail is lichtman.sam@gmail.com. Need something that can be an acronym? An acronym or a hashtag. It has to be one or the other. Look up Musk feud with Stephen Miller. Apparently he stole his wife. Musk stole Stephen Miller's wife? Is that true? Republicans' message is, it's okay to be a jerk. So Democrats' message should be, we're better than this. That's always Democrat. We take the high road. Doesn't seem to work. How good is Trump or Musk at messaging? They're both pretty good. I'd say Trump is actually a little bit better. Musk is a little bit all over the place. Sam challenged Muskrat to a boxing match. I already did. Terry says, this whole thing is just hilarious and weird timing of that article came out about Musk's drug use. That's true too. Maybe he's trying to distract us from that or something. This is one of the most entertaining seasons of The Apprentice White House edition. Oh, man. Jeff says, Musk really thought he could run the federal government like one of his companies. Exactly. Did you see Piers Morgan's recent debate about Israel and Palestine with Dave Smith and Natasha Hofstroff? It's like Jerry Springer. That's what I think I coined that first, that Piers Morgan channel is the Jerry Springer of politics. Seems like cooler heads might be prevailing, unfortunately, based on Elon's recent tweets. He's begun agreeing with tweets tagging him saying they're stronger together. Even if this is all we get, it was sweet while it lasted. What other way did you imagine it ending? I guess I didn't imagine it ending this quickly. I don't know. we've been known about Musk's drug use. That's true too. Do Elon's voice? I can't. Elon Musk versus Donald Trump is like Dr. Evil versus Lord Voldemort. Who would you side with? Exactly. JD Vance is a favorite of Curtis Yarvine. That's what freaks me out. Yarvine wants to replace the government with an accountable monarchy. Who the hell is Curtis Yarvine? I don't even know who that is. No idea who that is. Someone sent me another video to react to. Or no. I didn't get anything. Unless it's in my spam. Nope. %57 say that Musk will win the feud. No, 56%. Thoughts on Tim Pool? He's a joke. Yarvine leads the Dark Enlightenment movement. Look it up on Wikipedia. Their most messed up ideas include human genocide and tech companies ruling cities in an autocratic manner. That sounds horrific. Fried Jemmy says, I noticed you skipped my super chat on your dad's stream. Was it too controversial? I don't even know. I don't glean or rank the questions anymore. We have people behind the scenes doing that, so I'm sorry, Fry. I guess sometimes they don't put it up because it's too controversial. Sometimes they feel like it's a repeat. There's lots of reasons why it might not get up on the stream itself. Sometimes we just run out of time. To have a compelling message for Dems, you've got to have a lot of charisma to the point where you turn the charisma key. That's a fair point. Musk is a huge liability to Trump. Is that true? They're both walking, talking liabilities. I don't know if one's more of a liability than the other. They're both sort of walking, talking hurricanes of liability. And somehow they always slip out of their liability for everything. I don't know how they do that, but they seem to do that. Yeah, the Teflon Don, exactly. The Teflon Don. Elon and Stephen Miller both had black eyes. That's not true, is it? Sam, will Trump be reelected? Well, he can't run again, so no. Is that a real thing? Did Stephen Miller have a black eye? Sam, how well do you think you would do if you debated Trump? I would freaking wipe the floor with him. It wouldn't even be close. Stephen Miller, black eye. Apparently, it's an unconfirmed Musk and Miller throuple. I'm not seeing anything on a Stephen Miller black eye. Is Stephen still married to his wife? Stephen Miller. It says they're still married. Oh, there's a whole drama going on here. Who is Katie Miller? On the newest installment of White House Shit Show, the girls are rumored to be feuding. And by girls, I mean the president and his billionaire first buddy. And at the center of it all seems to be Katie Miller, wife of Stephen and longtime Trump advisor, who reportedly left her post at the White House to work full-time for Musk. This probably leaves you with some questions like someone married Stephen Miller and why? Well, she did, and now she appears to have gone from a diehard Trump devotee to one of Elon Musk's staffers. Okay, we'll see how that shakes out. I'm not all in on this drama quite yet. But it does seem like it has some juicy tidbits going on there. Stephen Miller's been wearing sunglasses indoors for 2 days. Where do you guys get this information? Stephen Miller melts down as Musk exits with his wife in an attack on Trump. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller spammed social media Tuesday night in a raging display of unwavering support for Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. The Trump loyalist went on in a hard sell. Miller's comments came hours after former Doge Chief Musk attacked the mega spending bill. Miller responded by calling Trump's bill the most essential piece of legislation in generations, the most essential to rich people. It seems like he wears sunglasses a lot. It is a little strange that his wife went to work for Musk, right? Was this... I agree. There's something going on here. Oh, sorry. I was reading an article. I don't know if anybody knew that. Vladimir says, I want Bill Gates to be the world's richest man again. I liked it better back then. Well, that's not happening because he gave away all his money. Well, the vast majority of it. So I wouldn't, that's not going to happen. You know what I'm spraying? You know what I'm spraying at you? You know what I got? You know what I'm spraying? Should the third party key be changed to reflect voter commitment? Too many people in 24 didn't vote. How do you objectively measure voter commitment before an election? Troll says, I knew this would turn out this way. They never seemed genuinely to like each other, or Trump not liking Musk. Again, they're two weird billionaire egomaniacs. They don't have friends. They don't have, you know what I mean? Like, they're just weirdos. Like, they're not like normal people who just like have friends and, you know, get, you know what I mean? They're billionaires. They don't have a regular understanding of social dynamics. How do you measure voter enthusiasm? Do you know what I'm spraying? Sounds wrong. Okay. You're right. TM. How am I doing tonight? I'm doing good. I'm eating up this drama. I'm loving it. Here's the thing. I want them to keep leaking stuff about each other. That's what I want. That's what I really want. Like, although the Epstein leak was a little bit of a dud because, like, we all knew that. Come on. Everybody knew that. It was more of a leak of, like I said, and the Lichtman Live. So you knew for a fact that he was a child predator and you still supported him? You see how that looks? LB says, Sup, Holmes. Best post show in the universe. Everybody knows that's a fact. Freddie says, we need new parties and ranked choice elections and get rid of the electoral college so candidates with the most votes actually get to govern. That would be great if we could get stuff done in this country, but it seems that there's always an obstructionist getting in the way. Taco and Tesla no longer in love. Thoughts on the Dems becoming social democratic and a Nordic model? I'm open to it, I guess. The more leaks, the less power the engines have. Exactly, Dennis. Exactly. Steve Bannon is trying to challenge Musk's citizenship. Yeah, they're at war too, aren't they? Bannon and Musk. Musk is now saying he wants to work with Trump. Jesus. I mean, if he's already flip-flopping this soon, he's just a manic individual. I don't know what else to say. Troll says, at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters unless it turns out Trump is a nonce, a dunce. Is that what you're going to say? I don't think he'll get away with that. Who will get away with what? Mike says, I wonder what they are trying to distract us from. That's a fair question, too. Maybe Musk is just trying to distract us from the whole drug leak. Sam, what do you think of the, quote, enemy of my enemy is my friend mentality? I don't know. It's just such an overused cliche. And like, for me personally, like maybe if you're a general in a war, maybe that's applicable. But like, for most humans on Earth, I don't think you really need to take that mentality into your day-to-day life. President Khalidi says, I meant to say last show that Dems maybe shouldn't have chosen someone from the past like Biden from the Obama era in 2020 and instead moved on to someone new like Bernie. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, bro. I mean, what are you going to do? People voted for Biden. You live in a democracy. Was it the smartest route ever invented? Probably not. What are your thoughts about the president of Mexico? I don't know much about her. I saw Fareed Zakaria talking about like how she wants to change like all federal judges in Mexico to be elected, and I feel like that's a bad idea. And Fareed was being like, yo, this is effed up. And I was like, I kind of agree with you, Fareed. Could Putin end up in a situation like Hitler did? I don't think it's quite a one-to-one comparison. But I think he could definitely end up in a situation of where he's totally fucked for sure. Little edit of the Muffin Man rhyme. Do you know the Taco Man who lives on Pennsylvania Ave? That's a good one. Do you know the Taco Man, the Taco Man, the Taco Man? Do you know the Taco Man who lives on Penn Ave? How's that? DNC certainly tipped the scale for who they wanted. I hear that argument in 2016. I don't know about in 2020, but maybe so. I don't know. There were so many candidates in 2020. I don't know if they tipped the scale toward. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Putin is worse than Hitler? Come on. Reed, that's a little ridiculous. What do you think of the hypothetical scenario in 24 of Biden winning the 270 and losing the popular vote? I remember whispers about that. I don't really have a fully formed thought about that or how real that was. I have no idea. Trump will win. He has a Supreme Court behind him. Does he? And like, I don't know if this has anything, like this feud has anything to do with anything that'll get in front of the Supreme Court, you know? Mexico is authoritarian, worse than the U.S. Mexican politics is all kinds of effed up. I mean, just look at how much powers the cartels have. VCAM says if judges are elected, then it should be proportional representation. Otherwise, a consistent and slim majority will take every seat. I kind of like how America does judges. It's like on some state and local levels, you're elected. On the federal level, you're not. seems like a good balance. Culinary guy says, I think a lot of stuff will come out. Well, if Elon's already backtracking, maybe not. But if he keeps his foot on the gas, which I know we're all hoping he does, I agree a lot will come out. Mexico under Scheinbaum authoritarian. I don't think I said that, but someone in the chat might have. Tigro says, I hope we see a Trump-Putin falling out. That would be awesome. I mean, it'd be a little too late in my mind. I more hope that just Trump gets tough on Putin. I'm so tired of him like walking on tiptoes around Putin all the time. If you had to spend a year in a cabin with either Trump or Putin, who would it be? Probably Trump. At least I could like laugh at him. Putin, I feel it would be miserable. I mean, Putin's a miserable dude. He just gives off that vibe of just like, you're a miserable dude. Just being around you feels like he'd zap your happiness from you. Thoughts on South Korean election and Lee Jae-myung? Unfortunately, I have not been following that. Yeah, also Putin might poison your ass. I'm not. Yeah, definitely. In that scenario, I'm choosing Trump. Rolo says, you and your dad have more influence than you think, Sam. You think so? I feel like, especially on like the political YouTuber side of things, compared to other bigger ones, we're pretty small. Is that Kiko? My dog just came in. Hi, Keeks. South Korea's new leader is said to be a big victory for liberal ideas. That's cool. Culinary says, I don't believe 8 million people didn't vote. When you have the richest man in the world in your corner, anything can happen. Was it 8 million? If Elon could run for president and it was against President Trump, who would win? Trump. Definitely Trump. Again, I don't think Elon is that popular amongst Americans, especially amongst like voting Americans. Like most people who vote are old people. I don't think they have any great affection towards Elon. That's an interesting poll. 55% think that Elon's going to win this feud. But I agree. That is a weird poll. Who would win in a hypothetical election? Trump, Musk. Oops. Do you know the Taco Man, the Taco Man, the Taco Man? You don't believe the rich would support Elon? Some of the trendier young people? I'm not saying nobody would support him, but I'm just saying I don't think he has enough weight in the American electorate to really like win elections or make a third party, things that are really rooted in like, down and dirty American elections type stuff. Not tweeting, not supporting a candidate, not using your money to get somebody elected. Those are very different. Musk is not charismatic. That's a good point. I don't think he can get a cult like following like Trump did. He's definitely not charismatic. I mean, he has his own little cult following, but they're mostly techie bros from all over the world. Like in a world election, if there was a president of the world and everybody on Earth could vote and it was Trump versus Musk, I think Musk would win. But in an American election, is Trump every time. Every time. Do you know the Taco Man, the Taco Man, the Taco Man? Don't forget to like the stream, guys. This stream. T-Girl, I thought you were going to hit me up about possible collabs. I never got an Instagram message from you. I never got an email from you. Would people seriously vote for Trump again? I mean, some people seriously would. 20 to 30% of the Republican electorate probably would. Straight up, Sam, how do you think a textbook will describe this time we are in? I think a textbook would describe it as one man's push to become America's first authoritarian leader. President Khalidi says, I can. You said wait until the midterms. Did I say that? Let's not wait until the midterms. Hit me up now. We'll figure it out. The current political situation reminds me of Bush 43's second term, where the Dems were in disarray after the How old are you, President Khalidi? It reminds you like you read about it, and it reminds you lived through it. Elon's an actual businessman. Trump has bankrupted every business he owned. Elon is socially inept, but seems better at manipulating the base. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I would say Musk isn't a businessman. He's more of an innovator. I just think Trump is better at, like, being a politician, if that makes sense. What was my opinion of Musk before Trump? I just kind of thought he was a weird dude. And, like, I'm just not really, I don't really care much for, super billionaires as it is. I'm not, like, one of those people who, like, billionaires shouldn't exist, but I'm not, like, one to be, like, running up to billionaires and being like, So, I don't know. I just was like, oh, he's some weird rich guy. I mean, I think when I first heard about Tesla, I definitely thought, like, Tesla was a cool thing. Now I'm not so sure, but it depends how Tesla evolves from here. If they keep producing meme cars like the Cybertruck, yeah, I'm out. But if they actually, like, go all in on, like, AI powered robots and self-driving cars, like, I think that could advance the world in a good way. He's not an innovator. He bought other people's businesses that were doing something techie and took credit. I've definitely heard that line before. I don't know. I don't know where the line is. It's like, and I don't know his history or the history of these companies well enough to be like, when Elon took over, the company did X, Y, Z, and that changed it forever. Or did he literally just jump on a company? He just bought a company that was already doing great things and just put his name on it? I don't know personally. Musk is a good investor, not a good innovator. He has no skills. He didn't invent the companies he bought. I hear what you're saying. Future textbooks will claim that the 2020 election was stolen by Democrats who hijacked the voting machines and covered up the whole windows with Carville. That is really possible. I don't think that's possible. I really don't think that's possible. I think eventually, over time, the truth prevails, pretty much. Sam, please don't make that noise ever again. What noise did I make? Oh, God. Oh, God. Musk bought Tesla and fired the creators, basically. No, I get that. But, like, can anybody show me, like, all right, this is the moment Trump took over and nothing changed about the company except that he was the head? If that's the case, then I'll be like, yeah, all he is a good investor. BKM says, last year I was considering studying MS in the U.S. With the current environment, I'm 99% planning to do M-Tech where I live. Work 2 years and do an MBA once the next elections are done. That's a good plan. Especially as an international student, you don't want to come here right now. Seriously. Give credit to Franz von Holzenhausen and great designers for making Tesla what it is today. Before Tesla, EVs looked like ugly Prius sneakers. Interesting. Musk took over Tesla, got government subsidies, grew it. Now it's collapsing and will fall. Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. Politics is why Musk started failing with Tesla. Yeah, I don't know why he did this. I mean, I know why he did it. He did it to expand his power and influence, but it was such a risk. And we're seeing that risk become the risk that it was, right? He was good at cutting through the red tape of government bureaucracy. He was able to get the EV subsidies. Interesting. Do I think Tomi Lahren could be the first female president? I mean, anything is possible, but if I was a man who gambled, which I am, I would not put my money on Tomi Lahren being the first female president. Any thoughts on why Dems have been losing ground in rural America since the 1990s? That's a big question. I feel like I can understand why they don't like the Democrats, but I can't understand why they like Republicans. You know, they're mad about a lot of things that a lot of Americans are mad about. Affordability crises, joblessness, things that everybody's worried about. Why they think Republicans are the answer to that I don't understand. Is Musk's wealth just business holdings or cash? My understanding, it's mostly in stock. In ownership of Tesla stock specifically. People call Tomi Lahren Dachau Debbie. That's too much. That's crazy. Why can't people just accept Biden won? He is/was an incredible loved politician by many, and people wanted change from Trump after COVID, which granted was hard for any leader, but people didn't like his handling. I don't know. I think you make a very sound, grounded point. I agree with you. Why can't people just accept it? It's not like, it kind of makes sense. No, it doesn't kind of make sense. It makes sense. The safest way to double your money is to fold it in half and put it back in your pocket. I don't get that. Tesla is falling because Musk hasn't updated the tech. The stock price is overinflated. He produces and sells less cars than the big three auto companies. His net worth is overinflated. That I certainly believe is true, that Tesla's stock is way, way overrated and his net worth is way inflated because of that. And I agree that, like, again, when I first started hearing about Tesla, I was kind of like, oh, wow, this is a cool company. And then, like, since then, I feel like autonomous driving is a pretty big leap. But I also feel like it's sort of become like, it feels to me like it's become cheaper. Not cheaper, but like the product it's producing isn't as desirable as it once was, I guess. it feels a little ticky-tacky. It feels a little bit like memey. It feels a little, it feels like Elon Musk. If that makes sense. Fold the money is a quote from Ian Fleming's Goldfinger. The villain tells Bond the safest way to double his money after losing a bet on a golf game to 007. Tosh G says Waymo is better because they didn't remove LiDAR. I mean, when I was in LA, all the self-driving cars, at least that were like publicly available for you to like book on an app, were Waymos. People kept talking about like, oh, Tesla taxis, Tesla, but I never saw one. Tesla is way behind other EV companies. BYD technology is far ahead of them. Waymo is ahead of Tesla. I hear what you're saying. And I had somebody in my comments the other day, like when I was talking shit about Elon Musk, they're like, have you ever landed a rocket? And I'm like, has Elon ever landed a rocket? He's just hired really smart people to do all these things for his companies. He hasn't done them. Again, maybe he's a good innovator, or maybe he's just a good investor. Sam, have you ever driven an old school American muscle car? You know what? I don't think I have. I should. LiDAR is basically radar, but with light waves. It does 3D scanning of the environment and is immune to night and fog. Okay. I was, the latest Diary of a CEO episode was with, what's her name? Some investor, the woman who runs ARKK or AKRR. What is it? It's an ETF. Katie, I forgot what it is. But she's so, like, I feel like she was influencing me because, like, she's so bullish on, what's her name? She's so bullish on Tesla. Yeah, this one. What's her name?
I saw the
Kathy Wood. I started watching this today, and like, I don't know, she's just so enamored by Tesla. I feel like she's starting to sway me a little bit. But now you guys are starting to sway me in the other direction about Tesla. Culinary guy. Oh, thank you for your donation. You're amazing. But the ETF she runs, it like went buku bananas a couple years ago. What is it called? She's a mess since forever for stocks. Don't follow her. Yeah. ARK Investments, ARKK. When I first started listening to it, I was like, oh, maybe this woman's making sense. And then I started doing a little bit like independent research on her, and I was like, wait, is this woman a fraud? So like, this is her ETF, right? Where she's like supposedly investing in, the greatest companies of tomorrow in robotics and AI and all that jazz. Year to date, they're down 2%. So in the last year, they're up 27%. That's pretty good. But in the last 5 years, they're down 12%. And all time, they're up 176%, which is pretty good. And like in, when is this? 2021, they hit like a massive peak. This ARK ETF. And like, they've really crashed out since then. So like, when I saw this, I was kind of like, maybe she's not all she's cracked up to be, but in the last 5 years, they're doing pretty bad. I don't know. What's the poll at? Who would win a hypothetical election? Trump's at 78%. That's pretty big, folks. Am I going to the military parade on June 14th? Probably not. Kathy Wood is an Elon shill and they feed off each other. That's kind of the vibe I got. Yeah. ARK Investments is following Enron's playbook. That's not good. Why is Diary of a CEO having her on? I generally like his guests for the most part. She's a 5K prediction Tesla bull. Right. Most U.S. companies are overvalued. Probably so. Is Elon a South African name? I have no idea. Do you still have your diary from 2005? No. I don't think I had a diary in 2005. Check out Zeekr, even more amazing than Tesla 800V architecture and part of the Volvo Polestar Geely Group. Better investment, but they won't allow in the U.S. unfair competition. Sam, at the end of this live, can you post your email or IG so I can hit you up? Here, I'll just do it now. At Sammy Licht on Instagram. I hope I spelled that right. There. I think one of the former Enron executives sold his shares a week before the scandal blew. His wife divorced him because he was seeing escorts. He lives in Colorado now, just chilling. Elon is from a sci-fi group called the Mars Project. Interesting. Didn't know that. So most people are anti-ARK, huh? Anti this. If you know what ARK is and you have an opinion on it, either put a thumbs up or a thumbs down on your opinion of ARK. I'm interested. I don't want to put a poll because I feel like a lot of people just don't know, but wasn't Elon's dad like a bad guy? Everybody's saying thumbs down. Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right, we'll end this Trump poll. Who would win the hypothetical election? Trump's way ahead of Elon. Way ahead. Elon's parents were involved in apartheid, weren't they? Probably. I know his dad is like a diamond miner or a rare gems miner or something like that. So he was definitely exploiting African labor for sure. Michael Knight Wolf says, I protest against this poll. Well, it's over. What about that poll did you not like exactly? Emerald mines, that's it. Michael Nightwolf says, I'm mad that Elon lost. Well, that's just how the cookie crumbles, baby. That poll was stolen, I tell you. Well, no, Trump's the stolen election guy, and he won. S&P 500 had a total return of approximately 467% over the last 14 years versus ARK, which is 176. That's good to know. Yeah. Yeah, just get that VOO, that Vanguard, and you're good to go probably, right? Yeah. Up 435.56% all time. Up 85% in the last 5 years. Up 10% in the last year. Just go with that VOO. That VOO. Did you hear Springsteen has been closing his shows in Europe with a cover of Dylan's Chimes of Freedom? He once played it in East Berlin in 1988, just behind the wall. Bruce Springsteen is the man. Or VIX index. VIX. Oh, the volatility index. That's better for like, that's not better for like long-term saving though. Last year it's been doing pretty good though. Because it's been volatile as hell. Yeah, anyone get to switch to? Put a thumbs up in the chat if you have received the... You already got the Switch 2? Philip already has a Switch 2. Damn, I'm jealous. I kind of want it now. Only Philip's gotten the Switch 2. I got it at midnight last night. Did you get it online or you went somewhere to get it? Yeah, is it worth it, Philip? Yes or no? So far. Michael, you got the Asian version in Hong Kong. Is the Asian version better? They give you guys a different version? The smaller form factor is nicer in the old one. Interesting. Philip H says, I got it at GameStop. So far, only new game is Mario Kart World, but it's worth it for all the updated games and graphics. I don't know. Doesn't seem worth it to me. Pacers attempting incredible fourth quarter comeback versus the Thunder right now. What's the score? Damn, it's a 1-point game. 13 seconds left to go. Oh, they just went ahead. I think I'm going to wait on the Switch 2 a little bit. Like once more games start coming out on it. It doesn't, like right this second, it doesn't seem worth it. But that's just my opinion. Do you know the Taco Man, the Taco Man, the Taco Man? Do you know the Taco Man who lives on Penley Ave? Why did Indiana go blue in 08? Because Obama, baby. Because Bush and then Obama. That order is why Indiana went blue in 08. Pyleron says, I'm too old to be psyched by Mario Kart. Like I haven't played Mario. Like I have Mario Kart on my Switch, and like unless I'm like with a group of people, I basically don't play it. Damn, did Indiana just win? Crazy. JoJo starts to Sam. I know. I ask about this all the time. Is there a merchandise update? Yes, we are. The website is up and running and ready to go. We're just testing a few products just to make sure that they're coming out right. Once we confirm that, it's good to go. Is there an actor or actress you don't want to win an Oscar? You can't explain why. It's just a psychological mechanism. Mine is Timothy, says Trolls. That's an interesting one. Is there an actor? Or... I feel like a lot of the ones that come to mind have already won. Will Smith. I don't know. I used to love Will Smith. I just feel like Will Smith, as of late, he's just been so annoying. And just like he hasn't produced a good movie in years. Jared Leto's another one that comes to mind, but I think he's also won an Oscar. Sam, your Oscar for your short films? Is that a question or a statement? I've never seen House, and I don't think I ever will. Yes, I'm a Seinfeld fan. Bradley Cooper, I can't explain why I don't like the bloke. He's hit or miss for me. I feel like sometimes I see him in a movie, I'm like, damn, that was pretty good, Bradley. But like, what was that one he did lately where he was Leonard Bernstein? Maestro? Holy shit, that movie was bad. All right, folks. I think I'm going to sign off for the evening. I appreciate every single last one of you. You're all American heroes, heroes of whatever country you are from. And don't forget that. Thank you, and good night.